Hey everybody, are you looking for a short-term rental on the main line? If so, you are not alone. I know that because as a real estate agent, I see emails come into my inbox every single week of people who are looking for a place to rent, but just short-term, maybe because they're moving to the area and they don't have a place to buy yet, or maybe because they're selling one house and buying another and they just need something for a month or two in between. So what we're going to talk about today is how to find a short-term rental on the main line. Some of you may call them AirBNBs, you may call them VRBOs or furnished rentals or corporate housing or executive rentals. But what we're talking about today is how to find a rental that doesn't require a 12-month lease, and it might be furnished or it might not. So let's get started. When looking for a short-term rental, the first thing that I want you to do is ask your agent. Whether it's me or someone else, trust me that there is some hidden inventory out there of homes that might be short-term rented, but perhaps the homeowners are not currently thinking about it. However, as real estate agents, sometimes we have the inside info on who's going away for the summer or who is in a sabbatical year in Europe and their house is currently sitting empty. So ask your agent first. Your agent can send out an email to their entire brokerage saying, hey, I need a short-term rental for these dates, for this many bedrooms, accepts pets, etc., etc. So your agent is going to be a really good source of info. So my advice is to start there. That's number one. The first thing that we're going to do is look on Airbnb.com. Airbnb probably has the greatest supply of short-term rentals of any website that is out there anywhere in the world, and that is also true of the main line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a central location like Villanova. And the reason that I start with Villanova is because it's basically in the middle of the main line, and we want to see not just what's in Villanova but also what's around it. For check-in and check-out dates, I'm going to leave those open. The reason being that sometimes owners have some flexibility that they don't know that they have that might not be expressed on their online portal. So we're going to leave those open for now. And for guests, I'm definitely going to be honest here about how many adults, children, and pets are coming, because the size of the place is going to vary substantially. And you don't want to find something that's either too big or too small for you and your family. So because I didn't put in any dates, this is just going to bring up all of the properties that are available in the area. You can use this button over here, the negative sign, to scroll out and see some that are around the main line. We can look west. We can look east, and right now we're looking at any week. If we're just coming for a weekend or maybe a short period of time, then it might be good to add these dates in here. But what I want you to do first is take a look at just the set of what is available. And I want you to start narrowing them down to the ones that you would consider. And you can do that by hitting this heart in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Let's create a new wish list, and we'll call it Mainline Short-Term Rental. And anything that you really like, I want you to hit that heart, and that way you can save it for later, and you can use it to show your other family members later. So once you find something that you really like, the next thing that I want you to do is message the host. Okay, do you see how this one says hosted by Michael? He's been hosting for 4 years. Let's click on Michael's picture. There he is. Then we're gonna go to this contact host button, and I'm gonna, instead of trying to reserve these dates, I'm actually gonna send him a message, and I'm gonna type in, hey Michael, I need a place to stay from this date to this date. I have this many adults, this many children, this many pets. Can you accommodate me? And then I'm gonna send this message. Okay, and when you're on VRBO, it's basically the same process. We're going to narrow it down and find something that works for you, and then message the host with the dates that you need and see if an arrangement can be made. One thing to be aware of is that some hosts do have the option to direct book. What does it mean when you direct book? It means that you're creating an agreement directly with them, the host, rather than going through the platform. So one thing that you should be doing when you're looking and you're finding something that you like is I want you to look in this description right here on Airbnb and see whether the home has a name. And If it does, I want you to go over to Google and search for that home's name plus the town that it's in. So for instance, for this townhouse, if its name was, let's say, Charming Retreat, we would Google Charming Retreat plus Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, and see if it comes up with the direct booking website. You can save quite a bit of money that way. In addition to AirBNB and VRBO, I want you to be aware of these 3 sites: corporatehousingbuyowner.com, furnishedfinder.com, and sabbaticalhomes.com. For all of these, you're going to go through the same process of filling in where you would like to go. Let's just use Villanova as a central place. Leave the arrive and depart blank, because as much as possible we want to see the full availability of homes and not be limited by what might be available when. And then we're going to contact the host. Finally, the last place that you can look is on Zillow. Here we're on Zillow looking at Villanova. What I would do is remove that boundary, because Villanova is such a small area. We want to be able to look at everything that is surrounding it. And what I would do here is under that more icon on the right, I would click on that, scroll down, type in a keyword like furnished, and see what comes up. And you will find some rental listings in here of owners and landlords who will allow you to stay less than 12 months. And that's it. I hope that's helpful to you as you search for a short-term rental on the main line. As always, I am here to help. Feel free to reach out. Here is my contact information. I would love to be a resource for you and your family. Thanks so much for joining, and don't forget to subscribe.